Sir Barry Allen Crompton Gibb is a British musician, singer, songwriter, and record producer. He rose to worldwide fame as a member of the Bee Gees, with his younger brothers, Robin and Maurice, one of the most commercially successful groups in the history of popular music. Well known for his wide vocal range, Gibb's most notable trait is a far-reaching high-pitched falsetto. Gibb's career has spanned over 60 years. As a songwriter, he shares with John Lennon and Paul McCartney the record for most consecutive Billboard Hot 100 number ones, each having 6. In total, he has written or co-written 16 Billboard Hot 100 number ones. In 1994, he was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame with his brothers. In 1997, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of the Bee Gees. In 2007, Q magazine ranked him number 38 on its list of the 100 greatest singers. Guinness World Records lists him as the second most successful songwriter in history, behind McCartney. Gibb was appointed a Commander of the Order of the British Empire in the 2002 New Year Honours for services to music and entertainment, and a Knight Bachelor in the 2018 New Year Honours for services to music and charity. He was also made an Honorary Companion of the Order of Australia on January 27, 2022. Barry Allen Crompton Gibb was born at Jane Crookall Maternity Home in Douglas, Isle of Man, on September 1, 1946, to Hugh Gibb, a drummer, and Barbara Gibb, both Manchester natives. He has English, Irish, and Scottish ancestry. Gibb's grandfather Hugh Gibb Sr. was born in Lanarkshire, Scotland in 1892. He has an older sister, Leslie Evans. His second name, Allen, was after his father's youngest brother who died in infancy. According to Hugh Gibb, in a mix of fact and fiction, his third name, Crompton, was given to honor the Gibbs' ancestor Sir Isaac Crompton, actually Samuel Crompton. When Gibb was born, his father was busy as a musician working at various hotels in Douglas, while his mother stayed at home looking after the children. Later, the Gibbs moved to Chapel House on Strang Road. When he was almost 2 years old, he was badly scalded in an accident involving a hot teapot his mother had just set on the table, which he was able to reach and knock over. He was in Nobles Hospital for about 2.5 months. In 1949, the Gibb family relocated to 50 Street Catherine's Drive. Later that year, on 22nd of December, Gibb's 2 younger brothers Robin and Maurice were born. When the twins were young, the family moved to Smedley Cottage, Spring Valley, also in Douglas. Gibb started school on September 4, 1951, 3 days after his 5th birthday, attending Braddon School. In 1952, the Gibb family relocated to 43 Snaffell Road, Williston, which became their home for the next 2 years. The same year, he went to Tinwald Street Infant School. On his 7th birthday in 1953, he went to Desmesne Road Boys' School. In 1955, when the Gibb family moved back to their hometown of Manchester, the brothers formed the skiffle group The Rattlesnakes, consisting of Barry on vocals, lead and slide guitar, Robin and Maurice on vocals and acoustic guitar, and friends/neighbors Paul Frost and Kenny Horrocks also providing vocals. By 1957, the Rattlesnakes played songs by Cliff Richard, Paul Anka, Buddy Holly, and the Everly Brothers. Gibb said that their first song played was Paul Anka's I Love You, Baby. However, in 1968, he remembered it as the Everly Brothers' Wake Up Little Susie. The Rattlesnakes' first professional gig took place on December 28, 1957 in the Gaumont Cinema. Around 1958, Gibb's guitar was accidentally broken by Frost, who described the guitar as broken in the middle. By May 1958, when the Gibbs moved to Northern Grove, it signaled the departure of Frost and Horrocks. The brothers later changed the name of the group to We Johnny Hayes and the Blue Cats. Under that name, they performed regularly in Minor 15, a talent contest for under 15s held on Thursday nights from 7 o'clock to 9 p.m. at Princess Club in Chorlton. At the beginning of August 1958, the Gibb family set sail for Australia as part of an assisted migration scheme from Southampton on the ship Fairsea. Also aboard was Red Simons, future guitarist of Skyhooks, as well as Kylie Minogue's parents. The group later made a new group called the Bee Gees. In 1959, the brothers began singing between races at the Redcliffe Speedway to earn money. Their vocal talent brought them to the attention of Bill Gates, a radio DJ. Gates was also interested in Gibb's original material, including Let Me Love You and Starlight of Love. After hearing those songs, Gates asked Gibb for more original material. Gibb quit school in September 1961 and the Gibbs moved to Surfers Paradise. The brothers spent the summers of 1961 and 1962 performing at hotels and clubs in the Gold Coast area. By September 1962, Gibb managed to audition songs to Call Joy. The Gibb family moved to Sydney at the start of 1963. Around the same time, the Bee Gees were signed to Festival, but they were assigned to Leadone. Their first single, The Battle of the Blue and the Grey, was written by Gibb. All of the Bee Gees' singles from 1963 to 1966 were written by Gibb. In July 1963, Lonnie Lee, one of Australia's top recording stars of the time, recorded what is said to be the first rock and roll recording of a Barry Gibb song. Recorded on Leadone Records and named I'd Like to Leave If I May, radio preferred the flip side. Also between 1963 and 1966, Gibb's songs were recorded by numerous other Australian recording artists including Trevor Gordon, Nolene Batley, and Shelton, April Byron, Ronnie Burns, and Laurie Balmer. One of them is his composition One Road, which hit No. 2 in Australia New South Wales chart and No. 32 on the Kent Music Report charts for Jimmy Little in 1964. Another of his compositions, I Just Don't Like to Be Alone by Brian Davis, reached No. 25 on the New South Wales chart in 1964. In 1966, Gibb won the annual Radio 5Ca Award for the Best Composition of the Year, I Was a Lover, a Leader of Men. The Bee Gees returned to the United Kingdom in early 1967. On 24th of February, the group passed a live audition with Robert Stigwood and later signed to Robert Stigwood Organisation, also the same day that Spicks and Specks was released by Polydor as a single in the United Kingdom. Stigwood became the manager of the Bee Gees. Colin Peterson, drummer, and Vince Maloney, lead guitarist, later joined the group. The result was their first international LP, Bee Gees' first. The second single from the album, To Love Somebody, on which Gibb provided the lead vocal, has become a standard, covered by hundreds of artists consistently throughout the years since. Around the same time, the Gibb brothers contributed backing vocals on the track Cowman, Milk Your Cow, a song written by Gibb and Robin, sung by singer Adam Faith. In 1967, Gibb was in the Speakeasy Club, a nightclub in London where he was introduced by Pete Townsend to John Lennon. Lennon was still wearing his outfit for Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band photo shoot earlier that day on March 30, 1967. After a couple of scotch and cokes, Townsend said to Gibb, "Do you want to meet John?" And he led Gibb across to a room where Lennon was holding court, and Townsend said, "John, this is Barry Gibb, from the group The Bee Gees," to which Lennon replied, "How ya doin'?" "So I met John Lennon's back," Gibb says with a laugh. "I didn't meet his front." Gibb earlier said in 2010 about the meeting, "It was virtually a closed club and you went downstairs and there was a coffin, and if you were someone they knew and you were supposed to go in, the wall would turn around, and in you would go. There would be rolling stones lying around all over the place. It was one of those days when I met John Lennon from the back. It was Pete Townsend who introduced me." Lennon said, "Pleased to meet you," and he carried on talking to his guest. After many stresses on their personal and professional lives, both Barry and Robin collapsed from nervous exhaustion on a flight from Australia to Turkey in 1967. On December 23, 1967, Barry and Robin left England for Australia. As Gibb explained, "But due to time difference we arrived on Christmas Day. We missed Christmas Eve altogether." The pair celebrated Christmas with their manager Robert Stigwood's family. As Gibb said, "We went on to Sydney. Well, my greatest regret is that every brother I've lost was in a moment when we weren't getting on, so I have to live with that and I'll spend the rest of my life reflecting on that," an emotional Barry Gibb said. "I'm the last man standing. I'll never be able to understand that as I'm the eldest." Barry also broke down in tears during the interview, admitting that he had never done that before when speaking about the subject. Well guys, what are your thoughts? Do tell us. Thanks for watching.